STMK Radio 100.
You're listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 with your host, Shawn L, Let and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100.
A public street announcement. You are now listening to a Kickback production. Light up your L's, lean back, and listen.
know it's over. Yeah. I feel really good right now. I feel like I want to play right now, y'all. Yeah, I feel like the dog want to play. Yeah, I'm back, yeah. The dog back on the prowl. Yeah.
Sir Charles, with almost 6 dozen songs written, Sir Charles is a dynamo when it comes to creating. The singer-songwriter comes prepared with his keyboard in tow as he molds words and sounds together to make music that has been featured on over 100 radio stations both nationally and internationally. He's also an award-winning songwriter who won the Best R&B and Soul Song Award. His latest, Girl, You Must Be Stalking Me, is on track to continue his success. Sir Charles has graced the small screen twice in his career, once in Washington as part of a charity event and the other in Mississippi when he was on Spotlight in Jackson County. Being a maestro, Sir Charles is no stranger to the accolades, but when you create music like his, it's to be expected. From his debut album, Call on Me, to his latest single, Girl, You Must Be Stalking Me, Sir Charles has presented a well-rounded and endearing essence when it comes to R&B music. That likely stems from his childhood, one spent listening to the likes of Tyrone Davis and Al Green. Both of those men influenced a young Sir Charles to not only sing, but how to just do his thing and do it better than anybody else. He was also inspired to love and spread it. Love is a commonality in all of his music. He notes, love is what we need in this world. So much going on, we need to show more. In the coming months, Sir Charles will be doing a pair of great things. In April, he'll be in Los Angeles at a gala where he's nominated for Artist of the Year. A couple months later, he'll head to Florida in June, where he'll be performing at a grand blues festival for the Bikers of Pensacola.
Don't look so sad. I know it's over. Yeah, but life goes on, and this world keeps on turning. Yeah. And let's be glad we had this time to spend together. There is no need to watch the bridges that we burn.
Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and our 34 affiliates. ATL's in the house. Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, Chicago, and LA. Hey, with me right now is a singer-songwriter who comes prepared to put on a show with hits like "You Cheating on Me," "Baby, you're going to miss me," and the hottest one that we played that's on the airway right now, "Let It Be the Night." Southern Soul, R&B, Big Dog, Sir Charles is in the house with us tonight. And as everybody know, he's from the state of Mississippi, and Mississippi has put out over 275 top-notch blues singers. So we're going to talk right now on the telephone to the big dog himself, Sir Charles. Welcome.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Sir Charles, we appreciate you being here with us today. You're on Podcast Nation right now, and then Stop the Madness, keep it 100. What you want to say to our audience before we get into our Q&A?
I just want to say I'm glad to be here. You know, glad to be a part of this. Stop the Madness.
You know, Sir Charles. Before I get into that, do you know this? From Gulfport, Mississippi, you said, or Moss Point, Mississippi?
Moss Point.
You know that Mississippi has put out some hell of a fire singers like B.B. King, Willie Brown, Bobby Bradford, Jerry Butler, Sam Cooke, James Cotton, Bo Digley, Howlin' Wolf. He was from West Point, and Little Milton. And for everybody up north, I know you know this one, David Ruffin, the lead singer of the Temptations. So, Sir Charles, tell us what got you into music.
Well, my mother, she got us going early, man. Like, my mother was a songwriter. She wrote this hit called Put on Your Red Dress Baby, Call Me Going Out Tonight. You heard that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, she put on your red dress, baby. Call me going like, put on your red dress, baby. Call me going out tonight.
Okay.
My mother's the original writer. Yeah, my mother's the original writer to that song. And when I was a kid, man, she wrote a song, gospel song called The Holy Bible is Right. And we all practiced this song, and then when we got in front of the church, nobody wanted to sing. And I might have been 6 years old. And they got around, and I said, somebody got to lead it. So I stepped up and started leading, and I've been singing ever since.
So when you put your first album out there, that was your first album was Call on Me, correct?
No, my first one Need to Be Loved.
Oh, that wasn't the first. Okay, so that was the first one. So when you did Call on Me, how many hit tracks was on that one?
Call on Me.
Yeah.
10.
Oh, okay.
10. Yeah, I got 10.
So when you started the question from the chat room, I'll go into this one because we was playing your song. When you made Let It Be Tonight, what was you thinking about?
Well, I was thinking about, man, that guys, man, they go out, they working, you got people out on the water, man, and then they come in. And, they ain't got time to be whining and dining, man. So I wrote the song to Let It Be Tonight. We can do the same thing tomorrow, but we need to do this thing tonight, you see.
And
that's why
you write and compose your music and everything also, right?
I do it all.
You do it all. Okay. Now, everybody in the chat room, they was listening to, before we came on in the last commercial, they was listening to, because we're going to have you live in the Blue Room. So they're going to hear you sing a couple of songs. Matter of fact, when Stop the Madness come on the air Thursday live, they're going to have you also featured on their show coming up and everything. So I want to ask you this. How many albums have you put out?
I put out Need to Be Loved, Call on Me, Shake It, and I put out 4 albums, and the rest of them is singles.
And now you got a hit song out now called You Got to Be Stalking Me, or you out on the one you got out on me now, girl? Oh,
you talking about the one, girl, you must be stalking me.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't released that yet. That hasn't been released.
But that had to be.
I just play it.
Oh, you're in the process of writing it? Oh, you're in the process of writing that up and everything?
Oh, I got it ready. I just haven't released it. That's all. I'll play it out there, but I haven't released it on no distributor just yet. But I'm gonna put it on my next CD that I'm working on.
Okay, because you're also a Facebook hit sensation. You got like 3 or 4 pages, and you do concerts on Facebook and everything. And people, I want y'all to really know Sir Charles. I think it's Sir Charles 101. I mean, he be laying it down. You heard that one hit. The other hit that you had that we couldn't get, that we was really worried about, Cheating on Me. Is that similar to Johnny Taylor's, or is it on that line?
Well, something like that. Like I say, my mentor was Mr. Tyrone Davis. So that's why I like saying Tyrone songs. But like I say, I got the style like Tyrone Davis. Like I say, he was my mentor. When I was a young man, I used to go around, Mobile, different places, and I always sung his songs. So he inspired me, Tyrone Davis.
So let me ask you this. Everybody's asking the question, where can they get your music at?
You can get my music at cdbaby.com.
Okay, CD Baby.
Yeah.
Also, if they wanted to book you or bring you up for something, is there a website or how do they get in contact with you?
You can call this number, the same number you call me now.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna put it out. I won't put the number out on there, but we'll put it out on our website on Stop the Madness, Keep It 100's webpage. And if you want to get to CD Baby or get a number to book. So you've been singing and entertaining since you were 6 years old?
Yeah, it's around 6, yeah.
So
Yep.
when you got into the business and you started singing, you said you was in church, so you had to do like an adjustment because I know you wasn't singing love songs and stuff in church. But when you got into the business and you was looking at Tyrone and Johnny and Johnny Taylor and all them, did you tailor off of them, or did you get your you took a little swag here and then you refined it up to the way you wanted it to be?
I kind of I think I took a little from all of them, man. Like what I'm saying is I was raised on Tyrone, Johnny Taylor, all the great blues singers. I was raised up on them, you see. So I've been touched by all of them, man. So like I said, I'm here in Malvern, Mississippi. Like I said, when I was coming up, we had the jukeboxes. You know what I'm saying? We had BB King, all them boys. Yeah. So I say I'm probably between all of them, so I can do them all.
So you not only do you sing, what instruments do you play?
I play keyboard.
Okay, you play the piano and keyboard? Okay. So going down into this when you started, did you get into a band or were you a solo singer or how did you start your career off?
Well, I started off with a band called Live Five Show and Band. We was the house band at the House of Jazz for 5 years. So I started out with the Live Five Show and Band. And reason why I started playing the keyboard is because after 5 years, man, it just broke up for no reason. I never could understand why. Why did we break up? But I said I'm going to teach myself to play keyboard. That way I can play by myself. And so that's what I do today. So I've been playing the keyboard now about 20, 25 years.
So
30 years.
So when you write your music, do you you don't have a production company or nothing? Everything you handle everything at that self, so that way you don't have no overhead.
Yeah, everything I do, everything comes to me 100%. Nobody got nothing, dog.
Now, when you was cutting your songs and you was up and you was in the band, everybody looks at the music record like up in Detroit with Gordon and all the rest of them, and then you come down with Quincy Jones. That it was hard getting into the business and you didn't own your rights and everything. So you did you learn from that, or were you aware of that problem? That's why you didn't go into companies and stuff?
Yeah, I find out, man. Hey, man, we always been a slave, man. Hey, when you sign to record deals, man, all you're doing is putting yourself back in slavery, dog. You see? I mean, I can do the same thing for myself they can do for me, you see.
And what made you go to social media as a platform to put your stuff out there? Were you like advertising for gigs, or was this a way to get your music known, or was this just something that you started doing and you just loved to keep doing it?
Well, what happened was, man, I was just I was on number one news and I was send my songs to to mention. And one of my friends one day, she told me, Charles, why don't you start going live? So I started going live, and that's when things kind of started taking off for me.
So the $99 question everybody want to know. Sir Charles, where did you get that? I know your name is Charles, but I'm just talking about what forte, because your forte takes it out to, B.B. King, Bobby Blue Band, Sam Cooke, they all had their thing, but you got that, like when you come out, Sir Charles, it's like rings it out into the stadium, because when we did our promo for you and we started playing your music and we started putting it out there, if you hear it over the radio, it's like Sir Charles, it just sticks out there. What made you think about that?
I didn't think about it. I didn't give it to myself. Somebody gave me that name.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna tell you the story behind that.
Go ahead.
I was 19 years old, and I was in Hattiesburg, Pennsylvania. And there was a little white guy, man. I used to sing all the time, walk around singing at your side. He said, Charles, he said, man, you can sing. He said, but you don't want it. I was like 12 months. He said, well, you don't want it bad enough that night. But he said, one day you're going to own it and you're going to get it. He said, I'm going to name you Sir Charles. And that's where I got my name, Sir Charles. I didn't even give it to my sister.
So have you done any videos or anything like that, movies?
No, I hadn't did. No, I hadn't did the movie.
So when in your songwriting, do you write songs for other people? And
Well, basically, I just write for me. You know, when I do things for other people, you know, I put it out there for them, but they want this, they want that, you see. But when I write something, I give them what I want to give them, it's going to be that. But like I say, if you want me to write, and when I give it to you, you want me to do this, you want me to do that. Sometimes a person will take away the context of the song, what I'm trying to relate to them. You see what I'm saying? So what I like to do, I like to write for me, you know.
so a lot of people don't understand is a Southern. See, let me put this agenda out there for everybody because we Northern boys. So if I don't say it right, don't get mad at me. But the Southern R&B blues singer, they have a different. What I'm trying to say, a different flavor. You know, it ain't the same. It ain't especially when you start singing a love song. You know, it ain't the same flavor as it is up here at North. It's got that little. It's like it's got that special sauce touched on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a different there, man. I think it's got a lot to do with the culture. I think it got a lot to do with our ancestors. I mean, you know, when we speak and everything. I think they got a lot to do with it.
So,
you know,
right now, I know everybody's loving. When did it? Let It Be Tonight. That's not a new song. So, what is your newest hits that you coming out? Because I think the Let It Be Tonight came out earlier, correct?
But Let It Be Tonight. Let It Be Tonight was my last. It was my latest song that I did.
Okay,
I got more songs.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my latest song.
Oh,
that was my last song that I did and released on CD Baby.
oh, okay,
You know, Let It Be
okay.
Tonight.
Oh, okay. Because I thought.
But like I say, I got songs right now. I got people, you know, I got people all the time say, Charles, I want you to do this CD and do this. And like I say, I got songs right now waiting on right now to do my next CD. Whoever come in and you don't really want me to do a CD, I already got my song waiting. You know, I got guys that watch, they want to sign me up, they want to do it. See, I'm like this, man. When you're in business with me, man, when you tell me something, that's what I look for. You see, if
Right.
you tell me one thing and you don't do what you say, that let me know I can't do business with you, dog. Because when you tell me something, that's what I'm looking for.
Right. And being in the business, as being in the media business, as I tell everybody, like in LA, we got people all out because we are a new podcast station taking over the web. And I tell all our hosts and everybody, so I understand what you're saying. Your word is your bond. Like we got a guy named Sax Man who just kicked out on his own show, and we're moving up and kicking out. You know, we got some music that you send us that we playing, and we want everybody to go to CD Baby and give Sir Charles some love. But let me ask you, right here, Sir Charles, when you kicked it out, what is that you won an award for? You award-winning songwriter, and you won that award. What song was that for?
Let It Be Tonight.
Oh, Let It Be Tonight. Okay, that's the one that you won the award.
But yeah, like I said, I got 3 awards with songs. I got the one seat down. I got an award for that. I got an award for Nothing You Can Do.
And you're gonna be appearing in L.A. and Florida in June.
Well, I thought that, like I said, the last 2 years I thought been in L.A. man for the for the red, get out on your limo and all this. I don't care about all this stuff. You know, going to go to Hollywood, go to Los Angeles, get in limos. Red, I supposed to do all that, but I don't care about that stuff. Man. You know, I don't care about that.
So you up for an award, right? They're putting you in for the Artist of the Year award.
Yeah, that's what came up for Artist of the Year last year. Like the last couple of years, man. Like I said, I got award for Let It Be Tonight. I got award for Nothing You Can Do, and I got award for One Seat Down.
And are you going to be at the Blues Festival in Pensacola?
Well, I don't know. Ain't nobody had me invite me. Nobody had me invite.
Well, we gonna have to change all that because we have a festival called Freaknik, but it's not like Atlanta Freaknik, but almost where we get all the old entertainers up here, George Clinton and a lot of them come into the town, and from a Friday to like a Sunday night, everybody just play 24 hours around on the thing. We're gonna have to put your name up there and see if we can get you up here with us. We have to talk to the producers. So right now, if I was a young man listening to you, thinking about getting into the business, what advice can you give me?
To be consistent, man. Don't take no for an ounce, and don't. When a person say what you can't do, that means you can do it, dog. Just keep on going. You don't take no for an ounce, dog. Once you put it in your mind that you can do, when you conceive a thing, you can do it. You can achieve it. All you got to do is be consistent and don't give up, dog. That's all.
So
I've been doing this for 40 years, man.
So, you've been in the business for 40 years. So, when you come into the business now that you, like, as you said earlier, that you was in a band and the band broke up for no reason, so you started learning to do things that you didn't have to depend on people. Have you ever thought about getting your own personal band together and going back out, or you like it solo like you doing?
You know, I tried, man. See, I'm like this. You got people around here. I think what happened was during this time of the drug epidemic, man. Now people don't have time to come in and do what they're supposed to do. If you got a band member or something, they got to come in. They got to put the time in order to reach where you're trying to get. You can't get it by coming to practice one day and then we'll see you the next week or 2 weeks. You got to come every day. You got to be persistent at it. And I don't see them kind of people out there. So what I do, I play by myself, man, and I'm good at it.
And I see that you preach love, and you know your genre is that love is need to be spreaded around. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's what we need right now. More about love. We need more love. You know what I'm saying? Because we got enough hate out there. All this stuff going around now, you know, man, like I say, I start some little text out today, man. Like I say, I put it like this now, man. We okay, like American wars, man. A black man have fought this country, wars for this country. Okay, for to keep them free. But you understand what I say? This is what I say. This is what I say. In order to combat this thing, what gets me, man, when I see the police beating our black women down, that would get me when I see them doing that to a black woman, just beating her down, you see, for no reason at all. You see, what it's telling me, okay, so this way I would do it. This way I would do it. If I was a leader, this is the way such y'all would do it. First thing I do, I won't let I bring my young man would go to the military. What is I'm fighting for, dog, when I ain't got no freedom right here? I'm going over there trying to fight to free y'all, to keep y'all free. You see what I'm saying? But yet still, you know, that's really bothers me, man, to see what they do with us black people, you know, around the world.
Well, we're on that right now because we're on this show right now on the Podcast Nation. After we get done talking to you as our featured entertainer, we're talking about voting. We talk about 45. As I tell everybody, Trump is in office because we allowed somebody else to take on their hate. Okay, and we didn't think about the consequences of people who hate what they can do if you put them in power, unchecked power, and that's what we're seeing right now. But let me say this in the entertainment world. When you was coming around the entertainment world, like Michael Jackson, what was some of the top? I know you said about Davis, that was who you was looking at, but what other artists did you like?
Al Green.
Oh, Al Green, yeah, because
I like it.
Al Green started.
Al Green, Joe Simon.
Okay.
Sam Cooke, Curtis Mayfield, all the greats.
Because you know
Marvin Gaye.
Because you know Mississippi, as I said earlier, Mississippi has produced some of the hottest singers in the world.
You know what I always say?
Go ahead.
All the kings come from Mississippi, dog. All the kings come from Mississippi.
Well, yeah, you can say that because when you start looking down the names of those people, and I just named a little bit of them when I brought you in about the artists that came from that point, like David Ruffin, Howlin' Wolf. He was from West Point, and most of them is from Clarksdale. But how many? Moss Point. How many people in that town? Is that a small town also, or is that close to Jackson? Or
it's a small town. It's down here on the coast, down by the Lux and there with all the casinos and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's where we at down here on the coast. But one thing about my town, man, about my hometown, we got 5 guys with Super Bowl rings, dog.
Okay.
So all the keys come from here, dog. You got, like I say, in Mississippi, man, you got to be the best. man. You got to be. It's a hard city, man. It's a hard city to grow up in order for you got to be the best at what you do now.
So, are you still touring the nightclub scene, or are you done with that?
Oh no, I ain't done with that. Like I said, I've been going live. I just been doing live broadcasts, man. You know,
okay. So let me ask you this question before I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead.
Go on. I'm listening. I'm going.
No. In the chat room, I want to pull a question from the chat room before you go into the blue room and do your 2 hits. In the chat room, they want to know: are you married or single?
I'm been married for 34 years.
Okay, so are you have any kids?
I have 4 children. I got 2 boys. I got 3 boys and 1 girl.
Are they coming into are they taking your lead in the music field also, or?
Oh well, they could, but they don't want to. My son, they play keyboard, they rap, but that ain't what they want to do. I had my boys, I had the music in the store and stuff they were selling, but my son told me, he said, Dad, I don't want to be no rapper, so I took the music out, and I have to respect that.
So I don't force nothing on the kids. They don't do. Right, but I'm going to go back to this when you first started, because I remember you said in the church, Aretha Franklin and Al Green, that's where they got their lead from.
Yeah. So that's where you get that feeling from, though. That's where you get that feel.
So when you was in church, they made you the lead singer?
Right. That's where you get the feeling from, man. I used to sit down and watch. See, my mother kept us in the church, man, 7 nights a week, man. And I used to watch the preacher, man. I used to sit there and watch the preacher. So that's what I used to do, man. I used to watch that preacher. I used to watch his every move. So that's why I'm good at what I do.
So right here on Podcast Nation feature audience. Old School 67 is in the house with us. What's up, Old School 67? We're gonna get you get some of that music and play over there on his agenda to get it up on you for you. When you look at what's going on in the music world today, and you look at all the people, platforms, and the money, because there's something missing when it comes to singing today. It's not like it was in the 70s and 80s, like when Lionel Richie and them got up like the Commodores just to get close to me. What do we have to do to get that type of music back, or is there something that we missing?
Yeah, what it is, people going to the digital program, man. They go to the digital program, they bring up the bass line, they bring up the guitar line. That's why they all sounding the same, you see. See, back in the day, they do everything live with live instruments. Now, these days, they don't even know how. You got guys out there can't even play instruments. You understand? But they go in their computer, they'll go in there and get them a program, and they'll plug a bass line, guitar line, and boom, that's what you got. And you got another artist doing the same thing. That's why they all sound the same. That's what James Brown said way up there. Yeah, back in the day, every artist had his own individual style. You see.
Yeah, because back in the day, if you look at it, when the Commodore sang "Just to Be Close to You," and the music went almost acapella, I mean, the voice and everything was so clear, you couldn't even tell that they dropped the music off of it.
Mm-hmm. It's different, man. Like I say, that now, it don't take much now. You don't have to. No, but I'm going to put it like this. Richard Bass, the man is dumbing musicians down, now. They're dumbing them down. You see, by having a program, they ain't got to go in there and put the hours in like I did on this keyboard and run off. When I put the time in, they go and learn that program and they put it out there. So in other words, really, basically, the digital is really dumbing the musician down. Really.
So, Sir Charles, tell us, how much time do you spend in the studio daily?
All day, every day.
So
every day.
So you hear that, folks? If you're gonna do this, you have to put your time in. And
yes, hey, I'm gonna tell you something. This is something I learned. See, I was relevant for some years. This is I learned. You got to put a certain amount of time in everything to reach that perfection. You see, if you're doing anything, if you're building a building, you got an X amount of hours to build that building. You ain't gonna build it no sooner. You got to put the time in order to reach that perfection. See, and that's where I'm at. I come in like when I was earlier. I used to come in at 6:00, and when I write my song, and I'll be shutting it down the next month. You see, that's how I did. I don't come in there and just come in and be gone. You got to put your time in. order to be the best, you got to put in the time.
So
that's what I say.
So before we let you go, Sir Charles, tell us this: when you was on the road, did you spend a lot of time away from home, or you did a lot of local stuff?
Well, I did a lot of traveling when I was a young artist. I hadn't done no traveling as an older artist. But when I was young, me and my wife, with the group, we used to go different places. When I was young, we did that. And then as they broke up, like I say, I was out and watching. I did things I didn't watch. I've been on television out there, different stuff. I done did some things, but like I say, I'm sitting back waiting on that. Waiting on that old 30 city tour if y'all want to do it.
Yeah, well, as all the artists, just when they come on, like when we talk to Jay-Z and all the artists, they talk about the hard work and they talk about the opportunities. Also, the one artist like 50 Cent, I remember a quote that he told us on the last time we was on Stop the Madness and Keep It 100 was it's that you can't wait for somebody else's dollars in this business. You got to go out and get your own.
Yeah, you got to do your own thing, man. You got to go make it happen, man. That's why, like I say, it taking me so long, man, because I ain't had nobody help. And everything I did, all my CDs, I made all my CDs. I did the writing, I did the recording, I did everything. You see, that's what I do today. So that's why nobody got their hand in nothing but such a dog. That's it.
Well, Sir Charles, before we cut you off the air, because we're going to have you live in the Blue Room on in a minute, and they're going to hear your songs that you gave us to put out there for you, and we're going to put them out there, and they're going to listen to you. And I want everybody who's listening to us, especially right there, I want you to go to CD Baby, and I want you to put in and pull up his CDs and buy Sir Charles some music and show Sir Charles some love. And get those CDs, and you're going to really love them, especially if you love Pokemon, Veronica Rael, and the Southern Soul R&B singers. Sir Charles is right there because he reminds you of a old-style Johnny Taylor, and we haven't had that type of voice in years. So you're going to love that. Sir Charles, we thank you for showing us all this love on Stop the Madness, Keep It 100. But before I get you off the air, I want to give you a chance to talk to your audience in 32 cities all over social media. You're going to be going back YouTube live. You're going on demand to SoundCloud and Mixcloud. So tell our audience what you want us to know about you.
Well, I want you to know that I strive to be the best at what I do, And like I say, it's all about love with me. I'm always writing love songs. I write songs, like it's all depending on what mood I'm in. If I'm having a problem with a girl, like a lot of my songs may not be inspired by my wife. A lot of times, it's all depending on how I feel at the time when I write my song. But like I say, I've been getting ready for the world for over 40 years, and I'm ready. And I hope they come out and download some of my music. I got over 60, 70 songs on cdbaby.com.
Audience, Stop the Madness, Keep It 100, Sax Man, Tone the Stone. That was Sir Charles, and he's getting ready to go into the Blue Room. Sir Charles on Stop the Madness, Keep It 100, coming to you out of the Blue Room with his #1 hottest hit, Let It Be Tonight.
Need a little loving, need a little touching, need a little hugging. I'm lonely. Let it be you touching me, girl. Tonight, let it be tonight, girl. I want you in love, holding me Need a little love, need a little touching, need a little holding. Cause I'm lonely, I'm lonely, tired of sleeping by myself. Let it be you and me, girl, tonight, girl. Let it be you loving me tonight, girl. Need a little loving, need a little holding, need a little kissing. Cause I'm lonely, I want you right now. Let it be tonight, girl. I'm lonely, I need your love. Please, babe, feel my need. I'm lonely, I need your love. Need a little loving, need a little touching, need a little holding. Girl, I'm lonely. Let it be you touching me, girl, tonight. Let it be tonight, girl. I want you right now, holding me, girl, tonight.
Such a dedicated to Mr. B.B. King, born in 1925 and 2015. King is gone, but his music lives on. In our hearts and minds, shared so many good times. Song about love, good times and bad times. Sung to begging to see. Oh, yes, we will. Over 50 long years, singing the blues. Night country, around the world, singing the thrill song. Play my strong. Ain't no love like a fall love. No more sorrow. Heartaches and pain, no more sleepless night. Things don't go right. Maybe they gon' miss you in this Tennessee.
Wow, that was Sir Charles. He laid it out, sax man, he laid it out. Hey, we're going to be right back. We're going to go pay some bills. Stay tuned.